Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. Today's topic is why is all the money leaving China? You know, you hear about the Chinese government making different rules about moving money out of the country. Yeah, the Americans will say, oh, they're fleeing the country because this and because that. Well, I've got a little bit of experience in this. I've done money management in China, and I've done money management in Canada. And back in, say, 2005, I could move money I could move money from Canada to China and get 7 RMB per 1 Canadian dollar. It's a good deal. Okay, and back then you could get 6-7% per year on term deposits, or money management deposits. They call them baoban. Well, certain ones they call baoban. And what that means is they guarantee, the bank that you do your money management through guarantees your principal, but not your interest. So you could lose your interest. I never have. Anyway, and you could get like 6 to 7% on these money management things. So back in 2005, you put money into your money management, you get 6 to 7%, but at that time the RMB was rising. Over the next 3 or 4 years, it rose from 7 to 1 to about 5 to 1. So you're getting not only 6 or 7% on your money management, but as that RMB grew, it made my buying power in Canada better. So I was making 10-12%. Yes, so it's worth it to put your money into money management in China as a Canadian. I moved a bunch of money back in 2005 and bought a place in Beihai, and I had a little bit left over, so I threw it into a money manager. That's where I got started. So that was a good investment. But now your RMB is going down. Yes, from 5, now it's up to about 5.3. So you're losing on your investment because of the money losing value, the RMB losing value. Plus, their interest rates have dropped to about 3.8%, 3.6%. That's what they used to be a year ago. I think they've even gone lower because they're trying to make it easier for companies to borrow money. And if they're making it easier for companies to borrow money, you know that the interest rates are going lower, so it doesn't cost as much to borrow. So now, putting money into China to reap the rewards of a money management deposit because of the RMB losing value and because of their interest going down, it just doesn't make any sense anymore. So when somebody says, oh, the rich people are fleeing the country and they're taking their money with them, no, that's propaganda and Western media fake news. If you can get more bang for your buck in the United States or Canada or Europe or even Vietnam, the dong is really strong. You're getting a really good return on your rate. Manufacturing is going into Vietnam, so that's another one that's interesting to look at. But if you're getting more for these investments, why would you invest in Chinese money management? It just doesn't make any sense. A number of years ago, the RMB, or the Chinese yuan, was linked to the United States greenback, the dollar. So when the United States dollar went up, the RMB went up. When it went down, the RMB went down. So, you know, you could pretty well bet on it not losing a lot of value. They've changed the rules now. It's more based on a basket of foreign currency than it is off the US dollar now. So if the US dollar goes up and down, makes a big difference in what that RMB is worth, because basically the United States dollar is the dollar of trade in the world, or the majority of trade in the world. So when you're looking at it like that, the RMB is over 7 to 1 right now with the US dollar, so it's taken a big hit lately. Who wants to invest in that? As I said, in 2005, I moved money over to buy a property, a condo, an apartment. You don't buy houses or land in China. You buy apartments or condos. We call them condos. In 2005. And as I said, that was at about 7 to 1, so I was getting a good bang for my buck. And I was buying a property that I expected to go up in price. Well, it doubled in price in 13 months. Good investment? Yes. You don't see that anymore. Why don't you see that anymore? Well, the property business has been sort of saturated, and you know, it was all speculation for a long time. But Xi Jinping made a statement the other day. He says, houses are for living in. They're not for speculation. Well, if the big guy is saying this, speculating on houses isn't a very profitable business. Plus, when you own more than one property now, if you own a whole bunch of apartments, well, you're going to be taxed on those extra apartments at a higher rate. So it's sort of a deterrent for speculators to get into the market in China, and it keeps the properties from rising too quickly. People need a place to live, so and that's the reason behind that. Where you get into the Western markets, into places like Vancouver, Toronto, Austin, Texas, wherever, the property values go up at a significant clip, especially in places like Vancouver, Montreal, Toronto, and Canada. Not too sure about the States right now, but I'm sure they've got their hot markets too. So when you put money into these markets, sure, there's taxes and stuff to be paid on those properties too, but it's a good investment. It diversifies your portfolio. Owning properties in Canada, the States, and China, having money in a Chinese bank account, American bank account, a Canadian bank account, is probably not a bad idea. American stocks and bonds, Canadian stocks and bonds. I'm not sure about Chinese stocks and bonds. I don't know much about it, so I wouldn't talk about that in this video. But you get the idea that the reason why money is leaving China isn't because of all of this rhetoric of people fleeing the country. It's not all the rhetoric about the bad communist government putting their thumb down on people. It's because the investments will reap more reward in other places than China. Sure, this is going to turn around because everything is sort of cyclical in the world of finance, where China's dollar or RMB is going to rise. Their interests are going to rise. I'm sure after this little trade war with the United States is over, everything will go back to normal. The interest rates will rise in China, business will thrive, their RMB will get stronger, and this will just be a bad memory. But for now, this is the way it is. Right now, the Canadian dollar's pretty solid. You know, it goes down, it goes up a little bit, not very much. And my favorite credit union in Saskatchewan gives me anywhere between 3.35 and 4% interest on term deposits, which isn't bad. And it kicks out money once a year. There's no worries. It's 100% insured. Your principal and interest are 100% insured. You have no worries. And that's right now not a bad investment in this day and age of investing in the scary world of investments, let me tell you. Sure, the Chinese government has said, wow, there's a lot of money leaving the country. And they probably know that it's due to low interest rates. They probably know that it's due to not making a lot of money on speculating on properties anymore. And these are the two things in China that used to be the money makers for the rich. High interest money management, and buying properties and peddling them off later, or renting them out and then peddling them off, whatever. And they'd make good return on these investments. Well, that's not happening anymore. So a lot of that Chinese money is moving overseas. And it used to be that you could jump on an airplane with 10,000 American in your pocket leaving China, not a problem. Those days are over. Chinese government brought in a rule that says you can put money in your pocket when you leave, but only 5,000 American dollars, so about 6,500 bucks Canadian. So that's changed. You used to be able to pull out of your ATM out of a Chinese bank account using your ATM card, it works just like it does if you were going down to your local liquor store. Not that I go to a liquor store, but and you use your Chinese ATM and you go into, say, to CIBC here in Canada, and you put it in and you say, I want $1,000. It'll kick out $1,000, not a problem. There's a little charge for that. But you used to be able to do $50,000 a year on that. Not anymore. They've changed that to $15,000 a year because they see a lot of money leaving China. Okay, well, it's not a big deal for me because I like to leave my money in China. When I go there, I like to be self-sufficient in China. I've got my home, I've got my bank account, I've got my e-bike, Sam, and when I need money, I just go to my local bank, put in my ATM card, get out RMB, and I'm happy. That makes me happy. A lot of people that want to make money off their Chinese money, that work in China, will move their money into, like the teachers, I'm talking, the foreigners, will move their money into their foreign bank account and then stick it into the money management over here. But now it's 6,500 bucks Canadian in your pocket, or 5,000 American, or 15,000 American in your pocket, so about 19,000 Canadian that you can ATM out, where it used to be 50,000 American. So this is a way that they curb taking a lot of money out of China, and billions of dollars have been taken out of China over the last number of years, and it's a problem for the Chinese government. I guess what it comes down to is, it doesn't matter if you're a Canadian, American, Australian, Chinese, the rich will invest their money where they think that they can get the best return on it. And if it's not in China at this time, well, then it's not in China. It could be in the States, it could be in Vietnam, it could be in the Philippines, who knows. But if that money isn't making the percentage that they want in China, they'll move it out of China to a different country and make that money there. That's why money is leaving China. Money's not leaving China for any subversive reason, as you see in the news, the Western news, the fake news. It's propaganda. So anyway, that's my last video from Canada this year. And the next video that you see will be me back in Nanning City. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, push that share button, and thanks for watching. Bye now. Oh, and one of the perks of doing a YouTube channel, one of the guys watching, Jeff, one of the guys watching my channel from Nanu's Bay has invited Wei Fong and me out for a barbecue at his place on Friday night, the night, 2 nights before we leave for China, which is sort of nice. So the benefits of a YouTube channel are not only doing the YouTube channel and getting a little bit of money, but sometimes you get taken out for a steak. Thanks, Jeff.